Today, we are talking about a man who stood up against discrimination in the United States and became a media mogul in the process.
That's right, little bro. Today, we are sharing interesting facts from the biography of Robert S. Abbott, founder, editor, and publisher of the Chicago Defender.
Taking a look back at Robert S. Abbott's biography, he was born on December 24, 1870, to formerly enslaved parents in Georgia.
That is the crazy part about this story for me. From humble beginnings, Robert would study printing at Hampton Institute in Hampton, Virginia, graduating in 1896. He would move on to Chicago, Illinois, where he earned a law degree from Kent College in 1899.
Sadly, Robert had a hard time getting a job as a lawyer because of discrimination. But that is where Robert used his skills in education from printing to start the Chicago Defender in 1905.
The Chicago Defender included a ton of entertainment, political, and social justice news, becoming one of the most widely circulated newspapers in the country.
You are right, big sis. But there is one part of the country that did not like the Chicago Defender and even tried to ban it from being distributed, which was in the southern states. During World War I, Abbott created a movement called the Great Northern Migration, sharing news that blacks needed to move north for all of the jobs available in the northern states, and that messaging in the Chicago Defender was not well received in the South.
But hey, although they didn't like it, that didn't stop the popularity of the Chicago Defender. By 1929, the Defender was selling more than 250,000 copies each week.
Abbott and the writers at the Defender would use their media platform to be a voice for the voiceless. That also got them in trouble in World War II. The Defender protested the treatment of black servicemen fighting in World War II, and that caught the eye of the United States government, which threatened to indict African American publishers because of their position on the treatment of black soldiers. But thank goodness for the First Amendment, where a compromise was made with the Justice Department that protected African American press from censorship.
By 1956, the Defender would become a daily newspaper and allow some of the biggest writers in black history to be a part of the Chicago Defender, including novelist Willard Motley, poet Gwendolyn Brooks, and Langston Hughes, whose simple stories first appeared in 1942 in the Defender column that he wrote for 20 years.
Another interesting story from the biography of Robert Abbott was his support of other African American visionaries. For example, a lot of people don't know that he helped Bessie Coleman enter aviation school by paying for her tuition.
The life of Robert S. Abbott came to an end on February 29, 1940, but although Robert passed away, his legacy continued with the Chicago Defender, and even in August 2008, the Georgia Historical Society and the city of Savannah erected a historical marker in Savannah where Abbott's childhood home was once located.
Wow, what an amazing story about an amazing man using his talents to change the world around him with media. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us, where we are all about sharing interesting facts from history and more on our cartoon podcast.